work session. And before we get started, just know our time got shortened recently. We got a lot to cover, so if we got some major concerns, by all means speak up, but we're gonna have to cover a lot of ground quickly, right?
Something that I do want to make you all aware of, Brad will not be with us tonight. A partner in his firm, his mother passed away. So he is covering another town meeting tonight, and Eric Whitesell will be here with us. Ready? Let's start off great. Fire truck. Woo! This quote is for a 1,000-gallon pumper in the amount of $1,361,007. That's $1,361,007. I know that we had heard from Fire Chief Thomas about the need for a truck. I did receive an email yesterday that if we do not get, if we're interested in doing this, we would not get the truck for 3 years. However, if we are past June the 1st, there will be a 5% increase, which totals $68,000. So, I will tell you in this budget, because I did not know where you were at on this, I did not add any kind of a savings contingency line for it. However, we can put one there if you are interested in doing so. I know that Chief Thomas has stated that there's a need for the truck because the other trucks are aging out. So.
That's just one quote.
This is just one quote. I want to say, and please don't hold me to this, I think that they have the state bid, which means we didn't have to go through procurement if we went through them. But yes, this is one quote. Would you all like to have multiple quotes?
I'll just go with the few quotes and go with it, because
I mean,
without so many quotes, you're going to get the very bad one.
Obviously, we would have to take a loan for this.
Probably like one other quote, what do you think, just to kind of balance it, just to make
I like to know how many times I used that truck last year.
Okay.
I know one thing Chief Thomas said was somewhere along the way, we had our trucks staggered out in age to where, you know, you wouldn't have any of that were more than 20 years old, I think is what he said. And we've got 2 that are really close in age. So it would be nice to get that stagger going again.
Agreed. And I mean, this is something that we could have a contingency line built in to where we start to save over the next 3 years. I mean, I do not see us saving $1 million. However, it would be a great down payment to start with. So that's just something that I need to keep it in your all's forefront as we move through the budget season.
Could we get quotes in time to make a vote by June 1st? Because if we can't get all that together, then if we decide to go that sole sourcing.
I will have them get 2 more quotes.
Okay.
I might email them out to you all if that would be okay.
When we were discussing this previously, one of the questions I had is, okay, we have the county fire department now located inside the town. We have a mutual aid agreement that I think was being renewed this year. I guess my question is, how many assets do you need within a county? Is there a mutual aid? Is there a shared, it's different, but like a shared asset like we have set up with the sewer treatment facility? Like, connected to insurance, this is town specific, this is county. But if you have mutual aid, is there a total number between the two, or does everybody have to have their own toys?
I had a meeting set up with the county administrator last week, and it got moved to this week, which has now got moved again. And that was one of the questions.
Okay.
My fear is, what if the town has it out on call, and then the county gets a call and they need it out on call? That's just one thing that I can think of.
Right.
And I don't know if there's a shared use.
Like a mutual aid?
Right. For a truck, I don't know, but I was gonna ask Eric.
Okay.
It goes back to, how many times they use it, like, the need.
Yeah, if I'm looking at it from like a county perspective, I would be thinking about call volume, frequency, use, and then you would build in the number of assets that you need to support the common use.
They're gonna be right north of Tazewell if we needed it, surely we would have access to it.
Yeah.
If you got a fire department market, would you call the town to go to it? With the county sitting across the street. I'm sure the county would respond to the town.
Well, there's different staff.
Well, I believe that's how dispatch works. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stan. If somebody's closest, they're gonna reach out to both units. But if somebody's in the county fire department at B&W, they're gonna reach out to them if it's right there close.
I would hate to make a comment for the county and not put words in their mouth, but it would sort of be like, we are responsible for the town, and I'm not putting words into no one's mouth because I don't know this, but the sheriff's office has their personnel, we have our personnel. If we need the sheriff's office, we call them, and if we were busy, the sheriff's office would be there to take care of that call if we requested. And I assume that would be the same thing with the county and the same thing from us. If the sheriff's office was busy and there was something outside the town limits, we would respond if they were busy and needed an emergency assistance. But I don't want to put words into the fire department's mouth because I don't know what their relationship is. I know what our relationships are, and they're great, but I don't know what the fire department's is.
So is that typically like a if able type of request?
I'm sorry.
Is it like an if able type of request, like, hey, we've got situation X on this location?
Sure.
Requested additional support it.
Sure.
Okay.
If I remember right, when Jason Hodge was chief, they were asking for a fire truck back then. If I remember right, they said the majority of their call-outs are not for in-town issues, they are backup calls for county issues.
I can't tell you where the county station has been closed for this temporary status. We have been running a lot of calls in the county. And I want to say it's March in their report, which ones are in town and in county. So I will get some more information and email it out to you all as far as how many times did it get used in the last year, 2 more quotes, and I will get a list of all of our fire department apparatus, the year, the age, all of that. So, do we have any other questions right now on fire trucks? That was just the big.
Is there any, what's the market look like for used fire trucks? And I would imagine that's not an option, but.
Used trucks are out there. They are.
I feel like there's a but coming.
Well, one of the last trucks that we got from Alabama, Louisiana.
Alabama.
They had a little rough time getting back. Didn't they, Steve?
Yes, we spent a full 24 hours and a 5.5-hour trip to get it back here.
So,
I think they took care of all their problems, but I was ready to kill TJ. because it took us over 24 hours the time we left here to get back here.
On the new trucks, I don't want nobody to touch except for, and under warranty. Nobody touch, not even TJ.
Okay. Okay, so I will email out some more information. I will see if we can have this by mid next week and get that back out to you all.
Last thing on it, from me. Are there any 80-20 splits, like grants that we've received for like ambulances in the past? I'm sure you've looked at that, there's just nothing available.
So when I search for grants, the very first ones that come up are USDA grants. They're the ones that say you can't get a police cruiser because you have too much money. So those were the types of grants that coming back.
But then that's police cruiser or fire trucks.
Yeah, it may be different, I mean, I know, Cindy, I know she's got some grants, but I.
60,000 versus $1 million.
But the rural development grant, they shut us down 3 times.
They did.
What are they looking at when they're saying we have too much money? Is it the emergency
Yes.
fund? So, okay,
So you
Got it.
Damn, if you didn't have it.
yeah.
Okay. So again, in the interest of time, because I know we've got executive session at 7, I'm going to, I touched it, I'm sorry. I'm going to carefully scroll down through here. So again, we aren't really raising any kind of rates in the general fund other than our shelter rental, our pool admission, the American Legion building fee, our new Warhawk Park and Clinton Pavilion. Those are the only rates that we can discuss changing. So all your tax rates stay the same. There's not really a big change in those numbers. However, if you all have any question, it's fine. Okay. So your taxes, again, like I said, there's not really much change. And how I do this is I take the last 3 years and I look at where we ended and I look at where we're at December 31st because that's halfway through the year. And I try to do the projection for the end of the year to make sure we're going to hit our mark. And that's how I've come up with these numbers. So vehicle fees. We had some email discussion back and forth about vehicle fees. And there was the mention of what if we were to eliminate this fee? You know, that would be a good gesture toward our taxpayers, and I do agree with that. My concern was if we are looking to tourism to bring in money to recover those losses of vehicle fees, if we remove them, I don't think that we're at a place right now with those projects for implementation that we would recoup it in this next budget year. So I'm not saying that that's not something we couldn't consider. I'm concerned that it wouldn't be done in the budget you would take it out of. That was my thoughts. Anybody else?
I just don't like the double tax.
I agree. Nobody likes taxes.
Throw them out.
Well, we don't, it's not solely public projects that bring in tourism,
Right,
so,
right.
I mean,
I guess when pitching that, I mean, ultimately, and we just had the comparison today on the other municipalities and where our rates are compared to the others. In most categories, we're at least in the top third. But knowing that we don't have a ton of budget slack, you can attest to this better than anybody else in here. But we do have 23, 24, ARPA made us artificially high. 25, I think, was our best year to account for, and we had $172,000 net at the end of that, based on utilization of the data that was provided to us. I think you've got, if you wanted to show the flag that you're a council that is looking for ways to reduce taxes, this is probably the lowest hanging fruit that you can pick, because it's only $65,000. You've got an easy talking point because you are double taxed. You've got a vehicle fee, and then you got personal property tax on it. And very likely you got enough budget slack. The more revenue we have, the more we can do, right? Like, I want to see all the sidewalks on Main Street redone, right? So I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth on this one. It's just what you think is most important outwardly. This isn't a tremendous cut. It's $20. Folks will take that and go out to eat at a restaurant. But if you wanted to show the flag, it's a low-hanging fruit. I think there's enough budget slack to be able to carve it, but I'm not married to it. I was just bringing it up for discussion on that because that's the only one that I see that, well, you're double taxed. And I'm not advocating for going back to the stickers.
Designing those stickers were fun though. Because whatever I put on that sticker, everybody had to put on their car. Any other thoughts on this right now?
Go away.
Okay.
I don't think you do away with $65,000.
Yeah, damn, you got it, that's why we gotta bring people in, and to live here, but you gotta keep taxing that tax, and you got double tax, you gotta go to county, pay over there.
Right.
And it's not fair.
It's not fair, life isn't fair, David. Let's cut it in there. Let's cut it in there.
Can you just lower it? Or is
Lower
that,
down to $5 then, or something like that.
Okay, so it's $20 right now.
Lower it down to
So
5.
10?
you want to say go to 10?
32,000.
Yeah. I say you cut it in half, and then it shows the people we are trying.
Yeah. Or does it do the opposite and pay, and like call attention to it? People are like, what should be like?
Cut it down as best you can.
Good attention.
So
Paying attention to it.
And the county might look at that issue
Why am I
too.
being taxed if I'm having to
in the email that I sent out today about mills tax, there was another point that I had brought up. Yeah, our governor just signed a bill to raise minimum wage up to $15 an hour. And that's something that we're gonna have to prepare for too. If we cut, okay, we cut that. In 2028, where are we at?
And properties are going to be reassessed every 4 years. right?
6.
6,
And it was just done,
Last year before.
Yeah.
24.
It went off real good. Everybody's real happy about it.
This probably isn't big enough to make a splash, but you don't have any margins to do anything else. Although
Our real estate tax rate. Wow.
okay, so cut it out, cut it in half, leave it alone.
I think you either do away with it or you leave it alone, because like, I mean, I don't mean to be, but unless Justin pays it and he knew, but I didn't even know about it really, and like, so if you draw attention to it, I'm gonna be like, what now? Or what? So I don't know, you might get worse just by
Right.
cutting it in half, like,
Good intentions.
yes, the road to Hades, yes.
Sounds like we're a little bit mixed. To give you direction, well, do y'all care if we go down the board and see, what each person thinks? Cut it out, cut it down, or leave it alone? That way we have some direction. Andy, you say,
I think we cut it in half.
cut it in half? Cut it in half. Cut it in half?
cut it.
Cut it.
Cut it. Glenn?
2 cuts. 1/2.
Cut it in half.
Oh, is it the two cut,
It's
oh.
three for cut it in half and 2 for cut.
Oh, okay, I thought cut meant, okay, sorry. Cut it out completely, that, oh, that's, okay.
Yeah, 3. I had 2 cut completely, 3 cut it in half.
I was kind of for leaving it alone, I think we're gonna leave it alone bunch, so that's two, what, I'm just afraid if you cut it, like, you're gonna pay it, you're gonna draw attention to it.
I don't think anybody thinks about it until it shows up on their tax ticket anyway.
That's what I'm
And so
saying.
they're gonna pay it.
Like, and if we go, hey, guys, we lowered it, and they're like, okay. Like, is that gonna do anything? Is that really gonna do anything?
You're gonna get a big whoop. You took it from 20 bucks to 10?
I think we're hurting ourselves. I think if we only cut it, now, I'm just, I think if we only cut it, we're just hurting ourselves and not getting the bang for our buck. No pun intended, actually. So I would either cut it completely or leave it alone.
That's what we're cutting.
So Mayor, you have to decide on that.
I'll be honest, I don't think it's gonna make a big splash either way, but I'm okay.
Well,
Let's cut it out and let's see how it goes. Here's the thing, if we decide we have to go back and reinstitute 2 years down the road, that's gonna be a whole lot bigger.
well, now hear me out. Because we talked about the meals tax, and this is a big deal. I got talked about this at the dinner, at the chamber dinner. And I know it's a pass-through, but the problem is at the end of the bill, people see that and they're upset, and they're not, it's funny, it doesn't come back necessarily, it comes back to the town because people go, hey, go see the town then about it, because I don't have to pay the town. But like the businesses get talked to about it because it's at the end of their bill, like it's on their bill, the people are paying it, and so they're mad. So, when you said the 0.5%, which again is, I don't know, thinking this is gonna help, but like 0.5% was what, said like 72?
$72,000.
Yeah, so I mean, we're
So
in
if
the
you,
ballpark.
if you leave this alone and you drop it down,
But I'm just saying, you're gonna get more, hey, we hear you, here's a percent, here's a percent off the meals tax. I'm just saying you're in the same ballpark and you would get more bang for your buck than $10 off of.
I agree with that.
I don't know. I don't know what we're trying to do. If we're trying to make, I know it's like, is it a moral, hey, this is unfair, but guess what? Taxing is not fair anyway. But it's like, the whole thing. So it's like, what are we trying to do? How are we trying to convey, hey, we know there's a lot of taxing going on? I guess is what we're trying to say.
I'm just looking at it because, we had to pay, in our towns, we had to pay county tax too on our
Yeah,
vehicles.
yeah.
Why can't we charge them for coming in our town? But we can't. We sit in town in Tazewell County.
Oh, you mean the vehicles coming in?
Yeah.
Well,
I say we cut it.
The peanut gallery has a comment.
yeah.
Okay?
So vehicle fee versus mills tax.
Mhm.
If he reduces by $10, that goes to your citizens. If you reduce mills tax by 0.5%, it's
It's
everybody.
urban.
This vehicle fee is your constituents.
Well, maybe we can
And you know what
package
you
it.
lose out
Yes.
by doing this.
Yes.
It's a known number, it's a constant essentially.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe we
It's gonna
package
fluctuate
it.
some,
Can we
but-
package it that way?
Well,
Can we
you know, and-
we heard
and-
you.
Talking about future council having the issue, all you do, you manipulate your property tax. So to streamline, you're in one line item, just your personal property tax. Like, that's where I would adjust in the future if you needed to. But having multiple items, I think this was implemented to replace stickers. You have better compliance, you don't have to worry about enforcement. But ultimately, in the weighted matrix of how I'm looking at this, simplicity in your tax code is what I'd be aiming at. And then if you got a course correct in the future, you adjust your personal property tax rate. And that basically gets swallowed up. I don't think people will be actively looking at that.
Oh, she's trying to get all her Anyway,
How has with Mills tax?
We don't have to.
So,
But I say-
sign and factor.
I say cut it out completely.
Mayor Joe cuts taxes.
cut it out, but cut it out.
So it,
And put it on your side.
All right, there's our.
Okay,
might bring more people in town.
so the next item is mills tax.
Yeah.
Do we want to dive in? Are we good? That's where we're at.
Double it. No, I think 8 is what you can do, right? Well, I'm looking at these, the rate comparison, right? You kind of go by town, and you can kind of see what strategies folks are doing. So like Marion, their real estate tax is lower, and their property tax is lower. But they're up there with their mills and occupancy tax, not as high as us, they're percent down. But they're really going, and then Whitful is
8 and 10.
8 and 10, like they're like, yeah, well, they have the big boys hotels, and they're doing the Claw Dragon. Anyway, so you can kind of see what folks like. To me, it looks like a strategy of we're either going to tax the come heres or the from heres. So we got to do a little bit of both. But if we can tax the come heres, that's way better than taxing the from heres.
And that's where we're gonna leave the 8.
Yeah, so that's why we gotta leave the 8, and I get it. I mean, I again, when it's from here's, I don't really, I mean, come here's, I don't hear a word about it. People from Pennsylvania, whatever, New Jersey, Florida, they actually think everything's cheap. So
They pay vice tax.
yeah, they're like, sweet, man, and they're on vacation, they don't care.
If you do get rid of the car taxes,
Vehicle fees.
Vehicle fees.
get rid of that,
All the.
that's gonna lean over toward the county. The county's gonna say, well, town, let's get rid of it too, in the county. But are they gonna lower it, or are they gonna, keep it as it is?
They might raise it and the people have more money.
They'll be like, we'll take your $20 over
And then,
here, bro.
people might start moving into towns, because of taxes,
We gotta have houses.
It's not a tax.
Yeah, I don't think people are looking at it that way, but I do think as a strategy,
Okay.
like Leanne was talking, like as we grow, Lord willing, our tourism business, and we have folks coming in and they don't mind to pay a little bit of tax when they stay with us and they eat with us, that's fantastic. And so, that is a definite, what I see here, is strategies of how do you pay the bills. And we're kind of burgeoning into that new realm of, this is a different way we can pay our bills. And so as we do that, I think it's great that we look at ways to lessen the burden on the front years and move it over to the come years. So I think that's good, but I don't know how I feel the pain in the mills. I feel it again more with locals, and they're going over to, I mean, they'll drive to Bristol and spend the gas money to not pay. I guess, but I guess they're in their head. They go, oh, well, at least I'm not paying 8% mills tax. So I mean,
But on the other hand, I do know people that come from rich lands and stuff to come up here.
That's right.
Because we have a better quality.
Correct.
And
We try, but yes, so again, it's all a game, not a game, it's real, but it's all perception and how you package it and how you see it. Because ultimately, I mean, there's been all kinds of studies, but whether you have more sales tax, more income tax, whatever, you're paying kind of the same. Unless you live on the Virginia-Tennessee border and you do it right, but anyway.
Just don't go buy groceries.
Yes. Yeah. Live in Tennessee, shop in Virginia. So yeah.
we're all on board with cutting the vehicle fee and
Yeah.
keeping the mills tax the same.
And can we say something to the fact that we're having this conversation, but say something to the fact that, we're looking at this and we are understanding of this tax and, and so this is a way that we can impact our local citizens put money back in their pocket.
Right.
Whereas the mills tax is, again, more something that we can use as a wider net to bring in the revenue that we need for our streets and our police and every little thing that people like to complain about. So, not police, of course, but, I've been in a few meetings. But anyway, but yeah, I think that's great. So I think we package it that way though.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So we shall move on, and business license, they pretty much stay the same.
If you, there was a.
Use of money and property, so last year we did do the credit card convenience fee. That has been very helpful. I understand that Jessica has seen a good return versus what we're charged, so that's been very helpful for us. Click River Pavilion is on there, Workout Park is on there, and it's kind of hard to judge those because they are brand new. You don't really know how often they will get rented out.
How come you don't rent the train station anymore?
How come what?
Said you do not rent the train station anymore?
We had artifacts and things that had been donated to us, and we had damage from parties. Now, we do try to promote businesses having meetings in there, but to rent out for like a birthday party, that was kind of where we seen problems.
I was just curious.
Do you charge a fee, business?
I don't
We've been doing donation for.
Our garbage collections, I think I raised it just a couple $1,000, not much at all. So our recreation department, this is going to be on a little bit further down when I do a soccer update, but we had very good turnout for our soccer signups, so very pleased with how the signups went with that. Our aqua park, we had discussed making sure that we have funds in there to replace some of the inflatables. We replaced 2 pretty big inflatables this year, so next year we've got in there for $10,000 to go toward that. That was an item that we had talked about, making sure it was in our budget. Fire department billing, this is something that we had passed years and years ago. However, it was just never enacted. And what the code said was that we would bill for structure fires of property owners that had insurance, because it would be something that insurance would pay. It would not be something that would come out of the homeowner's pocket. And at the time when this was voted on in council, they said only structure fires where there was insurance available. So I would like to see us start doing that. I don't know if I was supposed to get an email or if I was mistakenly added on an email from a locality close to us, but their billing was about $70,000 for their fire department billing. I mean, I definitely don't want to take out of anyone's pocket, but if that's something that are paying for their insurance, I say let's start doing that.
Okay.
I mean, it was already enacted. I think Jack Murray was on council at that time.
So what do you gotta do? You just gotta.
Just have to get the information and bill their insurance.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Yeah, I remember when Jack was telling me that the squad, rescue squad, on the billing part, he made a comment that when you have to call, and you have to give the amount, and then you have to hang it up, and you got to recall on another bill.
So, okay, it's cool. Goes out. Just make sure the door's open over there. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So I mean, that's how, what Jack was saying, and I thought that was crazy, unless they change it.
But
It's just call after call.
It's something that's already in our code. I say let's enforce it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could the fire department charge for the accidents for cleanup?
State code allows it, yes.
Yeah.
But at the
They answer
time,
a lot of those.
at the time when town council had voted, that's how they voted, was to only bill for structure fires where they had insurance.
So we'd have to change the ordinance. Gotcha.
Because
Food for
that would
thought.
be paid for
Food
by
for thought.
insurance as well.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
And she wants to take care of that, on that.
Yes.
Yeah, bill that insurance.
So,
They don't come in.
food for thought for you
It's gonna go
guys.
up anyway.
So a rescue squad billing, I did cut that up quite a bit. Our year-to-date is only about 56% collection rates. So we are off very bad.
What was
where we
that?
need
I'm
to be.
sorry.
Our rescue squad billing, in the current budget we're in, it's 1.6 million. And they have only collected like 56% of what they were set out to do. So I cut that revenue. I don't want to overstate our budget by $100,000. I don't want to do that.
Is that a timing thing, or is that like that's the billed amount going out there?
I don't know if it's a collection as far as from the company. I don't know if we're not getting paid for calls.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure on that.
They outsource the billing, correct?
No,
They
do
do
it
it
in-house. The lady that did our
Yeah.
billing passed away. And that could have something to do with it because she was sick, but I know they have been getting everything caught back up. But
Yeah.
maybe that is part of the delay. And that's absolutely possible.
And we are at 61% as of today.
Okay, great.
So it has gone up.
Okay, thank you. Our next little section is donation. It's not a huge section.
On the EMS, that was another thing I'd mentioned, based on a conversation that Glenn and I had. So looking at their revenue versus their expenses, like they're pretty close to breaking even. And I don't know if there's an angle there to procure another vehicle, expand the services. Glenn, am I wrong on that, that you're stating that the county was like looking for outside contractors to facilitate transports?
There was one company that they were looking at to facilitate transports, but I don't know if that'll go through.
This is the county is looking at, yes. Cindy was actually not at one of their meetings because she went to speak on their behalf to say, hey, we offer the same service. But the county is looking to bring in another agency. And if they do, that would hurt us.
Right, yeah, like, so is there an opportunity, can we do that at cost or better than an outside contractor would?
Okay, so I want to go back to the fire department question where he said, hey, if it's, how do they do the calls? Unless, this is my understanding, unless they say specifically, I would like to request town of Tazewell EMS. I think they're on a rotation. That's my understanding,
Okay,
unless I'm mistaken.
so they're
But the
rotation
calls-
with the other municipalities?
No, the other ambulance services,
For what?
transports.
Transport.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, and if I am, I apologize.
That's good.
Okay.
And that's if they're available, yeah.
Anything else for that at the moment?
Just thinking that might be an angle to elbow your way in, and get more revenue if you're having revenue issues there.
Miscellaneous revenue, your total general fund is at $7,633,950. So going into expenses, and again, this is very similar copy paste of what we had last year. There were a few targeted line items that I would like to discuss. I have in here for all of the full-time employees to receive a 2.5% raise, which is what we did last year. So unless you all have something specific, I'm just kind of going to go through.
How many minimum wage employees do we have? you know, off the top of your head? Is it, I mean,
Our pool staff,
Just our seasonal.
that's where it's at, like, it wouldn't be a lot.
I think our facility team members that will be coming for the pool this summer
Okay.
are at the minimum wage.
Okay,
Um,
so that's that.
No part-time.
yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We just don't have to give them a raise. That's the positive.
So your administration is at 463,201. Your police department, there are a couple line items in here that I would like to discuss. Okay, as you all know, we have began the fleet management process with Enterprise. So you will see the vehicle equipment. That line item raised because we will be getting new vehicles and we have to equip them. And then the other line item there is your police cruisers. That covers everything, and that is 3 new vehicles that will be coming into the fleet this year, upcoming year. And I think that, and this is probably a Will question, is it 2 Durangos in a truck or 2 trucks in a
It's
truck?
two Durangos in a truck.
Okay, 2 Durangos in a truck. So that does meet our needs for that. Anybody have any questions on those specifics? Well, we jumped to the very end, I'm sorry.
How long do they keep the cars in the mileage?
We will be doing a rotation to sell those vehicles. Is it a certain year or a certain mileage?
The goal is 80,000 miles with this new program. We've had vehicles that's got 160 and 70,000 miles currently. So that's the goal, to get the bang for the buck of switching out vehicles on rotation.
How long does it take to get that many miles?
Enterprise is not off. That would be a 4 or 5 year situation. I mean, we've got vehicles that's 12, 13 years old that's got that.
Is it 21 mile distance when somebody, because I had one issue about having, I don't know if he's still working or not, toward Lebanon, they were living in Lebanon.
I know Chief Mills hired somebody from Castlewood, but they no longer work here. But I don't think there's anybody that lives in Lebanon now. But that was all the way in Castlewood.
Yeah.
Chief Mills hired somebody.
That's why I couldn't believe it. But that would save miles, this is 21 mile. Yeah, for instance, on you, 21.
I'll weigh in on that just a little bit.
But that's,
I understand what you're saying. The cost to send somebody like now is hiring is very, very hard. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
it might be cheaper if you allow someone to drive outside that 21 miles to retain them than paying $40,000 since somebody academy for a year. That's the thought process.
Well, I think that, you know, if you want to hire somebody, they have to move closer to town to get that service. And what few of them will do that?
It's easier said than done.
It's very difficult.
You gotta sell your house. It's rough.
Well, I mean, just on gas wise and mileage is what I'm looking at.
Kids school.
I'll do what's said, but as Captain Higgins or Councilman Higgins said, it's very difficult to hire people now. Fortunately, we have been in a good state that everyone that we've gotten in the past 3 times has been a certified individual. Now, none of those folks have lived outside the circumference that you're proposing, but there could become a time, and what some of the other council members said is it's hard for them to sell their house to be able to get in that circumference, but whatever this body says, we'll do.
I mean, I don't mind on the other side of Richlands or something like that, you know, going into another county, that's a little different.
And we do have one that lives in Smith County, we do that. Chief Mills hired one from Russell County and one from Smith County.
Still working?
One from Smith County is.
I mean, that's the leasing, reference to your leasing on vehicles. You know, that's in, it's grandfathered now. I mean, I'm just looking at the mileage is all.
Sure.
Sure.
Any other discussion on those items? Fire department, again, there's not much change. They put in a few budget requests and I just put those in there. If we decide to do a contingency line item for preparation in purchasing a truck, I can go back in here and add that if you all would like. Sanitation, nothing really has changed here. There was no big expense or anything that had changed, so I left it pretty much alone. Recreation department. Councilmember Fox has stated the need for other employees at the recreation department. I do have in this budget another full-time employee at the recreation department, and this would be strictly a maintenance employee. Since the last budget was done, there's been some changes in the direction that our recreation department is going. So we have taken the soccer program back, and I know that there has been a little bump in the road with that, getting it off the ground, but I do think that that will be a successful program. And if we would want to start to expand, you know, we're going to do spring soccer, fall soccer. We could expand to do basketball. We could expand to do volleyball. We can try to begin more youth sports. And I think by having someone that can focus on your programs, your sports, let them be in charge of the employees that are out there. And then bring another full-time person in to help with maintenance. And during the winter time, this person would also be shifted around to help Public Works. We will be having the ice rink, possibly at a new location this year, but it will still fall under the recreation department. So that person will be able to be utilized year-round. But I did try to listen, and I did put another person in there.
So what are you considering the maintenance?
Striping the fields, mowing the fields. Right now we've got basketball that needs to be dug out and put back up. Keeping everything maintained. Go around the lake, get the trash. There's picnic tables around the lake that need to be replaced.
And you think minimum wage is going to hire this person?
I do. Well, we have one out there right now that's been here with us for a number of years. So this would be more or less a helper for them. I know that it's getting to be warm outside. I promise you'll start hearing things about the park. And if I don't staff it adequately, people hear a lot of things about the park.
So the question is though, do we need one?
Doing what?
Do we need that person?
If we start going in the direction of having a recreation director, yes. Because I feel that this person will need to focus more on programs, on the actual sport, on taking care of their employees for the summer, and let the other two focus on maintenance.
Also, with the look to expand recreation facilities,
Yes,
you're gonna be spread out too.
that's coming up later on in the conversation this evening.
Well, I'm glad you're getting one out there. I mean,
You asked for 4 more, I put 1.
Well,
I tried.
it's all right, I got one.
Chief, we'll
I
take
tried.
the other
At least I
three.
got one out of
We'll
both.
take the other three. We'll take the other three.
I tried.
Will?
This is changing now.
Okay.
That's the grass.
So moving on down.
No, one person we have to do it, and then we got for the
So youth activities. This was something that we have seen increase because of our soccer signups. So I did bump it just a little bit more. And I will tell you what we've collected so far in spring soccer passes that. That's very good. Again, Aqua Park inflatables. We've got some money in there for that. Something else we had discussed, we had never really landed, was our Lester land lease. This was for parking beside of where the tennis courts and the basketball used to be. I put it in there. It was $3,000 if we choose to move forward with it. If we don't, I can reallocate that. But I put it in there just in case we did. So Rescue Squad, we discussed just a little bit about their revenue. So here is my recommendation for the moment. There is a full-time position that is currently unfilled. My suggestion is, at the moment, that we do not fill that position. So I took a position out. I still gave everyone that was still remaining that 2.5% raise. I did increase their part-time a little bit because I think if they were able to have another part-time person, maybe their overtime and their schedule could be cut just a little bit. Now, if they show us that the revenue's coming back up and they need more hands on deck, we can reallocate funds to that spot and we can put that person back. However, I just don't think that they're operating where they need to be to keep that full staff right now.
So you're removing 1 full-time person and putting 1 part-time.
Yes.
And we've talked about this for a few years on their overtime.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Is that adequate?
There seems to be a number of employees that have a lot of overtime. I would rather see that spread amongst other employees to cut down the overtime amount.
I'm not a fan of cutting positions. Could we look at a restructuring?
How are they staffing how are they applying their manpower to create the overtime?
I will go back.
It's not cutting, it's attrition. It's this person, we have an open position.
And we're gonna replace it with a part-time.
Yes, as opposed to a full-time.
It just sounds to me like that would make your overtime worse.
Because this person's going to work.
No, well, they're not hiring for some, how long has that position of full-time been hanging out there? Is it a long time or?
I think it came up in February. The person was on medical leave and was not able to return to work.
Oh, okay. So
Okay, so I'll rework that. No.
Is overtime optional?
I mean, there should have to be some kind of approval process.
Is that, yeah, it's not part of it, like they're like, this is your job and you get this much guaranteed overtime or like? is
Not
it-
that I'm aware of.
Okay. 'cause
Not
that's
that
a
I'm
lot.
aware of. So, I do know that we have several employees that work multiple agencies. And that's why I suggested adding the other part-time person, because if you could pull another person that also did work at another agency,
Yeah.
that was my fault.
Are they pulling OT from the other agencies? Is it, or no? Like,
I don't know.
oh, okay. I'm just saying, is the schedule the same schedule or like?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's
But I will rework that.
that one flies in there.
Well, my question is, some people just like 40 hours a week.
Right.
Some people want the overtime. So do these people that are getting the overtime, do they want it? Do they sign up for it? Or is it mandatory?
Does it?
I'm don't know that.
I think a lot of that depends. I think transports are a big issue when it comes to their overtime. And I guess it just depends on, and I hate to speak out, but without having the full knowledge, but if I'm not mistaken, the way it was presented in years past was that whenever a transport call comes in, you might be at the end of your shift, but you might have to, you take the call, you gotta take them to Charlottesville.
You're correct.
And you gotta wait for them to be done to bring them back.
So that would be mandatory.
So
I see the way that you're looking at that.
Could you schedule somebody for?
I know some can be, but I don't think they all are. I think sometimes those calls come in. I don't,
No, we have an on-call, like the sheriff's office, we have an on-call for transport, for mental health transport. We have like a call out list.
gotcha.
Just something like with the school. I've got to have all those medics on there, that's something you gotta try to do. The medics.
It'd be one thing if we were getting reimbursed at the rate we thought we were, but it's 1%.
So I will get more information and I will rework that. Everything else for them, the grants, 80/20, I took that out because we did secure the other ambulance finally. So we got that taken care of. Treasurer department, nothing's really changed, just kind of copy paste from there. Bookkeeping, same thing.
Come on, man.
Planning commission did not change. Community development, so we do still have this position open that we did not fill. And Susan and I have been talking about this, so I did put it in the budget for next year so we could have that position. Mayor and town council economic development, I did increase this to $40,000. In years past, their Tazewell Today donation, I know that there had been discussion about them being more self-sufficient and self-sustaining. So in our current budget, they get $70,000 allocated. I just reduced this to 65. Is that still my understanding of where we were going?
I talked to Pastor Nate, on it, they had just, I bought efficiencies within their program and like, can they staff it at a part-time or are they gonna, so that the operation will look similar to last year. It's still remaining a full-time position.
It's a salaries for that.
I think, based on those conversations and for the consideration of the time constraint that we're on, I think that that's an adequate supply.
I did this based on our previous conversations, and again, it's cut $5,000. It's not too much of a cut, and it still shows that we are fully supporting.
And they've made leaps and bounds on doing more activities for fundraising.
Yes.
A lot of bingos, a lot of community involvement.
Yes.
It's good stuff.
On the Tazewell Today, how come we're not getting, like, under Jerry Woods as manager, we got all kinds of bands that are playing up there on Main Street
It's because
through the whole summer.
It's because you have a limited budget for what you're doing those. They did have events last summer with bands. But it all comes down to how much you want to fund it. But for them to be able to execute that mission to the same degree, like this is a good supply to get them through the year.
How many bands don't have this year?
I'm not part of that organization.
I have a suggestion. We will be having an update from Tazewell today during our meeting, if you would want to ask that during that presentation. How's that?
I mean, you bring bands in, you're gonna bring people in, and they're gonna eat on Main Street, and it's gonna be, it's something for people on Main Street to eat on the weekends, or have something going on Main Street, because this is summer, and it's a good time to do this.
Correct.
I mean, we do have Wayfair and the other restaurants.
Yeah, I mean,
That bring them
Wayfair's having a lot of bands and on weekends. But, you know, if you have to set that up for next year. We don't have anything yet this year. 7 o'clock, huh?
Okay, we're at 7:03.
Say something. If you have a good band come in, you're gonna pay at least $5,000 a band. So if you're cutting our budget, we're not gonna be able to have as many bands.
What do you think on the bands?
So this,
What about steel
this
cutting?
summer, we are planning on having a fourth Friday. We're starting the first one in April. We were planning on going into September. The first one is going to be fun games and a movie. The next one is going to be a band. But if you want me to get good quality bands, I can do it. I'm asking.
Sorry, we'll stay on the commerce there, folks.
All right, Lynn, you want to?
We're at 7:03. I can power through the ones that I really need you to look at really quick.
Yeah.
Or we can go and we can schedule another budget work session. Your choice.
Power through.
Power through, all right. So zoning, property maintenance, nothing really changed. Mowing, that was one of them we bid out. I've got a mowing update for you. I did forget to put it in my project update, but I've got all of our mowing covered, and this is what it's gonna take to do it. Okay?
Where we at?
127,000,
Oh, okay.
Replace all the grass with rocks. Next.
okay? Many parts did not change.
Landscape.
Train station, barely changed. Capital expense, again, barely changed, because most of those are long payments. They're already set. Vehicle, heavy equipment, nothing changed very much in that either. However, let's go down to our street department. Paving. $250,000 in paving line item. This is to finish the paving for Route 460 project that we're going to be in the next budget year. It's estimated to take $185,000 to pay from the red light there at Hardee's out to the Great Escape Bridge. And that will have that project finished paving.
So when are we gonna pay the bridge at Hardee's back toward Potato?
I got an update for you on that. I can
wait.
tell you proposed, but you know how things happen.
No, it's got to happen.
I know, I get it too, trust me, I get it. Proposed is end of May.
End of May?
That's proposed, end of May.
That's when it'll be complete or start.
That's when paving from Hardee's out to Erie Street would be started, end of May,
End of what?
end of May.
Thank goodness.
Okay, street maintenance. We've allocated $70,000 in this budget for street maintenance. So potholes, your drain pipes, gravel, snow removal. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I sweated really bad over salt this year because we just kept getting it and getting it and getting it, and we were running out of salt. I pulled my emergency card and I got us 50 tons more, but that's all I could get. So for this coming year, my recommendation is that we increase our contract for salt. We go ahead and get more salt to begin with. And that would be 450 tons. Right now, we get 300.
No way.
There's not. But if you don't have it, I promise you, all of you are gonna hear it. A&P. So that is my proposal, is to up our salt's tonnage. This also has a couple new items for our salt spreaders. We need to replace some of the spreaders. We need to do a little bit of bridge work to the Clinch Valley Community Action Bridge. We need to replace those rocker arms. And sidewalk maintenance. It was $12,000 in the budget that we're in. I've increased that to 18. And I know the sidewalks were an area that we were really wanting to hit and try to improve on. And that was something that we were going to put in our comprehensive plan. And I'm done. Do y'all have any questions? Do you want to fire away or?
No.
Okay.
All right, with that, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
A motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Yes, sir.
I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
Make that motion.
We got a motion? Got a motion and a second, any discussion? We will, for the certification. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, motion carries. I'll read the resolution certifying the executive session. Whereas the Tazewell Town Council has convened an executive session on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.1-344.1 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this council that such executive session was conducted in conformity with Virginia law, now therefore be it resolved, the Tazewell Town Council hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in executive session, to which this certification resolution applies, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the executive sessions were heard, discussed, or considered by the Tazewell Town Council. And I'll do a roll call vote for this. Councilmember Tagish?
Aye.
Councilmember King?
Aye.
Councilmember Fox? Councilmember Klein?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Hankins?
Aye.
And Councilmember Willis?
Aye.
All right. Good result. Okay, and with that, we will call the regular town council session to order. All right, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilmember Hankins, do you want to give us an invocation?
Yes. Our kind and most gracious Heavenly Father, as we come before you tonight, we thank you for the opportunity, Lord, to get together, to discuss our town, to make our town better. Lord, we thank you for everyone who's come out tonight to be a part of this, and we just ask that we always keep you first. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Please be seated. All right. We'll start tonight's meeting with special presentation requests. First one we have is the 2026 THS Project Graduation Support Request with Brandon Matt.
Good afternoon, council members, Mayor Beasley, guests. Thank you guys for allowing us to come forward today. I'm Brandon Matney, the agriculture FFA teacher at Tazewell High School. I brought my fellow student brother Josh Matney, and this evening they've asked me on behalf of the 26th graduate class if the town would be willing to donate a monetary donation for their graduation fund. And I don't know if they had a set amount they wanted me to ask for, anything that y'all were willing to give, they'd be happy. You could tell them no, and I'd still be happy.
I recommend $700 go to this project because we want to keep it safe and we want to area.
Sounds good.
That's my request, $700.
You make a motion for that?
I make a motion.
Okay, I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. I'll open it up for discussion.
How many are in the graduating class this year?
I believe it's around 130, 135, 134 he says, so the numbers are pretty good with this one.
We do this, I think, once a year for the project.
And so whenever we talk into that tier, up to 150 is up to 700. Okay, any more discussion? I've got all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Well, thank you guys so much. I'll be sure to
Thank you.
tell them
Thank you.
Good seeing you, appreciate you. Thanks, appreciate you. Thank you. Boss. No, thank you.
All right. Next on the agenda is the annual Juneteenth program support request. Jeanette Wilson, from the Juneteenth Commission.
Good, but
Good evening. My name is Vita Ferguson. I'm here representing the Juneteenth celebration that we usually do once a year in June. And we're here to ask for your support again. And whatever you guys can do this, we would very much appreciate it. It's an annual event that we look forward to every year. We have a program on Main Street on Saturday afternoon, followed by a parade back down to Carline, where the Head Start and the War Park is now. And we have a cookout. Everything is free to the community. And on Sundays, we have a combined church at the Knuckles Hall. And we usually have a really good turnout for all of that. So, whatever you guys can.
We've been on this for several years, right?
This is our 7th year.
7th or so.
Yeah.
And we donated $3,000 to that
Yes.
project. I'll make a motion for $3,000 since we've been doing it for several years.
Got a motion? Got a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, got a motion and a second. I'll open it up for discussion.
I think last year they had told us that this is really becoming a regional event. We have folks from over in West Virginia coming over. Has the event expanded with the number of participants that we're seeing year over year?
Yes, we have people coming from West Virginia, Bluefield, Virginia, Bishop, Pulaski, Bland.
Mercer County, I've seen them. They all come over now.
Yeah.
That's great to see.
And they actually say that ours is the best.
That's great. What do I like to hear?
that. Yeah, that's.
We also have the colleges, they come and set up in the different areas. Reverie comes, Bluefield State sets up, and they do, and Southwest is a major part of it.
I've seen Bluefield College,
Yeah.
Bluefield State, and I've seen Virginia Tech come down.
And the hospital sets up.
And the hospital sets up for checks.
And Quincy County Convention.
Yes.
I do have one other question. I think last year, you can correct me on this one. Did this donation, what's the organization that's receiving the donation? Was that facilitated through Tazewell today?
Tazewell today, yes.
And we're doing the same thing this year?
Yes.
If approved.
Right, got a motion.
Any more discussion? All right, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, Route 16 Rally and Music Festival event request and support request, Sean Roberts.
Can I read a statement before?
Yes, go ahead.
So pursuant to Virginia Code 2.23112 and 2.23115H of the State and Local Government Conflicts of Interest Act, the council considering the Route 16 Rally Music Festival, which involves Back the Dragon. I am the current director of Back the Dragon and am a salary employee thereof. Now, this event actually involves two other Tazewell businesses, being the Wayfair and Uncharted Ventures. So in that law, I can actually still be a part of the discussion and voting, but it's up to my council members if they find that to be so.
So I thought it was up to you to recuse yourself.
Well, I can recuse myself, but it was kind of to me to ask you guys, I don't because there's two other businesses involved, it's not just Back of the Dragon, then it's in that gray area where if I don't have to, but I will if it makes a better.
So in the donation request and the request for approval for the event isn't coming from the businesses. It's coming from a nonprofit.
It's coming from the nonprofit, which is the Route 16 Rally Music Festival. Back of the Dragon, which I work for, is one of the sites that is being held, hosting the event. So I just want to, in that case, make sure that everybody knows that there is a conflict.
What is your relationship to the route? Let's see. I guess the title.
For the actual nonprofit, I am the secretary and treasurer. So I am a member there. So in that instance, I can again recuse myself.
I think my personal opinion, and this is, anybody speak up if you think differently. I think because you have the information, I feel like I would like to hear what you have to say about it, but I do think for just the overall public, I don't think it'd be best if you went on this.
Okay.
But if anybody feels differently, please speak up.
No, I would, if I can provide information, I would like to provide, especially if there's any misunderstanding or any of that.
Right. I mean, you got interpretation that said that, so I think it's okay to speak on this.
Yes, but I will recuse myself from the vote.
I think that would be best.
Excellent.
With that,
Sorry.
floor to you.
My name is Chris Myers, and this is Donna Roberts. You all know Donna. I'm the outsider here from Florida, but I'm here now, and I want to thank you all for listening to what we have to say. We brought Wayfair to Tazewell because I spent 35 years in Ohio. I spent 26 years in Pensacola, Florida. Always said, am I going to go to the mountains or am I going to go to the beach? Well, I went to the beach for 26 years. I'm at the mountains now, and my days will finish here. I'm not moving again. I told her, I said, if I have to move one more time, I'm done. So I am here for the rest of my days. And we have the vision, which you all know about Wayfair, to bring music to the area because there's a lot of people in the area that just love music. It doesn't matter if it's country, if it's bluegrass, if it's reggae, if it's blues, we want it in this area. And when OTR was here, Old Town Revival, we partnered with them. This was going to be their 5th year. And that's what it takes to get a festival going, 5 years.
3 to 5 years for it to take place.
So we worked with them, we said, yes, we're going to do this. We contacted our assets, our bands, our friends, our booking agents, all of that. We contacted them and said, yes, we will do it. Yes, we're going to change our schedule so we can come to your place. Cool. OTR pulls out. Imagine our shock.
We're panicked.
I mean,
because we made promises.
And when I make a commitment, I honor that commitment, regardless.
And if you remember our business plan when we
first came on board, we said part of our business plan was a music festival. So it only made sense to us to attach to a festival that was already existing. And OTR brought music, but not at a national level, which we wanted to be able to enhance that festival that already existed, because it takes 3 to 5 years to get a festival to have legs. And I think last year we did a podcast at the OTR event, and I think there were like 5,000 to 6,000 people there. And we found it very valuable, so we talked to Adam and the team of how we could enhance and bring them a higher level of music. And so then we were left, and we were like, well, we're having a festival one way or another because we've made promises to our assets. So that's kind of why we're here. Then we ended up talking to Beth and saying, let's pull together, but make it a little different. So it's not just about motorcycles, it's more of a motorsports event, and bringing music, culture, and arts into the festival as well, so that it can be a family-oriented, something the town can feel a part of as well, because it's not just something that everybody rides motorcycles, but a lot of people like music, and we bring diverse music to this town. And as a music venue, typically the music venue will bring a music festival to a small town. It's very typical for that to occur. Right. And we just want to be the anchor of this town with a music venue.
When you think of the anchors, you can think of places like the Floyd Country Store. All of the businesses in Floyd, they all support the venue. Floyd Country Store. Leaper's Fork has Fox and Lot. Leaper's Fork is in Tennessee, and they have Fox and Lot. There's the Stone Pony in Asbury Park, New Jersey. There's Eddie's Attic in Decatur, Georgia. We just found out Eddie's Attic is bringing, it's not much bigger than this room, bringing Amy Grant.
So it can happen for sure. And so just merging forces, we felt like was a strength. And then we wanted to remove our businesses and create the nonprofit, which we had Deborah do. And I actually sent Susan a video that Deborah made during when we were collaborating with OTR. And all of you guys will get a copy of that. It's 4 minutes long, so I didn't want to do that in this meeting, but you can watch it at your leisure, just to check it out. A lot of the things, of course, were driven towards OTR, but there are facts in there about counts of people, how it impacted the town, things that you might be able to draw from to help you with understanding why we decided to jump in.
So, one thing that I wanted to tell you about people coming to Tazewell, this winter, we had several shows. The worst storm we had Southern Legacy at Wayfair. People came.
It was sold out.
The whole town was shut down. Wayfair was open. The place was sold out. People came from Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Richmond. So
we are kind of becoming a destination with our music venue. It is happening.
And we want more people to come to Tazewell, not just for the music, but for the Back of the Dragon, for the ATV trails, Tazewell County.
And we can be a foodie town on top of it all. Beth and I have talked about that. Like if you have all of those things, a great food town with all the different restaurants that we have, you have a music venue, you have a featured place like Back of the Dragon, bring all that together, and that's what makes people want to stay in town for a long weekend, or come and take a vacation, or any reason to stay for a little longer. And so, like Whitwell, a lot of people leave here and go there. Why do they do that instead of staying here? And I think it could just help us grow. And that we're looping that into the festival, because the festival can be an anchor for this town also each year to bring all of those elements together. So we're asking for the street closure, which we don't have proper approval yet. I know that OTR had the approval
but we're asking for that. And that's from West Street to the funeral home.
So I did speak with Coleman Attorney's Office, and they were fine with us closing the road at 12 o'clock to do West Avenue, which would incorporate their business down to the end of Main Street.
How's this with the back of the Dragon? Is that going to be, are y'all working together on this? So, I mean, I like Steve, I love the music you're playing, and you know, and that smell is, it's hard to hit the brakes of and turn around. It's really, yeah, you're doing a great job. I'm seeing you're picking up a lot of people, and the back of the Dragon is picking up. But I've listened to one of the ladies that roasted my ears on Saturday, reference with the back of the Dragon. And at first, I explained to her that, you know, if we're going to do this, we might as well give it to everybody in town. But what the back of the Dragon's doing, that she explained to me, I never dreamed about the other projects they have down there, the games and stuff for the other people, bingos and what else you got there?
Oh, you mean, cornhole?
Cornhole.
And then, trivia. We don't do bingo, that's a,
Okay, trivia and all that.
that's a gamble.
Family Feud.
Family Feud, yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm looking at too, because I've never been down there but one time or two times.
This isn't,
They have
this
great
isn't a
pizza.
donation
You should
to,
totally go.
this isn't a donation to the businesses. This isn't a request to have the Route 16 rally and
I
music
mean, yeah,
festival.
but I like that, you know, when it gets to a little help with businesses, you know, I would like to help out because I'd like to see my town grow and bring people in. And you have bands about every week, my understanding.
Yes, and as we grow, we'll be able to bring larger acts that we want to do, but we just have to get to that point where we are able to do that.
I don't know which door to go in down there.
Which one door? It's kind of where the show is.
Yeah, that's true. But in general, the red doors.
We need to focus on this event, not their business though.
Well, I'm for the event. Let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna have to have two motions. We're gonna have to have a motion to add the
I have a
event.
question. So do you have to close the road at 12 o'clock on Friday?
So the vendors could get set up, because the event does start officially on Friday night. Vendors can get set up, they can come in Saturday morning. There's so many things that we're still considering. We're still considering a motorcycle show, a car show, classic cars or hot rods. We're considering these. None of this is in stone yet. But we need to have an opportunity for everybody to do their setup time.
Well, the stage and everything.
And that's the other big thing too. We are planning on having two big stages, 26 by 20 and 16 by 20. The two stages, one at Back of the Dragon, one near West Street on Main Street. And these are flatbeds. I mean, not flatbeds, but they're
The size.
stages that get pulled in and they fold down.
It's kind of like Oktoberfest where they need the street closed at noon because you have to prepare, and even that event's at 5, so you have to prepare.
And we understand, like in particular, I think that we can really feel the issue of it affecting other businesses on the street when you shut it down. We personally have experienced that more than once where the event is on the other end of the street, but our street in front of us is closed. And it does impact us. Nobody can go around the back and walk up the steps if they're elderly, and they'll call and say, how do I get to your restaurant, when they don't even know what's going on. And a lot of people, the word has been that people don't want to walk from that end of the street to us, so there's not a lot of participation on our end of the street. But for the betterment of the town, we suck it up and deal with it and figure out how we're going to do it, make that work. Because we want the town to win. So if we have to, be a little slower on a day, that's what we have to do. So we have dealt with that several times already.
So you need our town employees to help you set up,
Yeah.
kind of monitor.
Yeah, like it always
It'd be
has
the
been.
same.
But although we are pulling in some volunteers, I'm bringing some people, I'm bringing a professional logistics person to come help with how we're gonna manage the street and just make sure that, and it's also gonna be a ticketed event.
Yeah, we didn't really.
Yeah, we're also planning on, one of our future goals, so that you guys know, as far as funding, I know OTR asked for money and you guys decided not to do that, and I wasn't here, so I don't know the reason behind that. It would be great if you wanted to support us, but ultimately our goal with the nonprofit is to make this stand on its own. So that's why we're doing tickets, so that in the future, we're building a business. We have a business plan that will create monetization so that we can put it in the bank for the next year, and have marketing and business partners and vendors who pay for a spot, and we're hoping to get to that point. I know OTR did not have that vision, but we do. And so I think that's a very important part of this, is that we know every year coming back and asking for money isn't a good look. But a little support would be great this year, and we understand that you didn't do that with OTR.
Chief, you think everything's good with that? Chief of the fire station, chief of the town police department?
As long as we can get out.
As long as you can get out.
Yeah.
Y'all got that?
It's gonna be the same footprint, everything is OTR, it's rinse and repeat, and this was gonna be the 5th year, so I think we pretty much have it down pat, and you guys are awesome, and we have a good time.
So we've already approved the OTR event, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve this as well.
Yes, I'll second that motion, and get it done, let's go.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. I'm gonna open it up for discussion, but I just want to be, for clarity, you said there was 2 other businesses represented in here. We've heard about the Wayfair. Can we?
Uncharted Adventures?
Okay, I just wanted it
Yes,
spoken
oh,
up,
I'm sorry.
just to make sure.
And can I add to that, there are more businesses, and there are some towns outside of here who are somehow wanting to figure out how they can participate, because they see the benefit. And so they're wanting to figure out, okay, what can we do to be a part of it?
That's great.
Y'all talk to the
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the event, starting on Friday at noon, based off their requests. All those in favor, any other discussion with that? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, now I'll open the floor for the donation request piece. Any discussion on that?
If given, what would this money be spent on?
Sponsorship, is it a sponsorship?
It's sponsorship.
I'm sorry, sponsorship.
I think we need the town to help with marketing, and we need marketing funds for sure. I mean, at this point, because you're supposed to be at least 90 days out when you do something like this. And we were waiting until the 14th to even confirm that the street was going to be closed. So that's a definite, we would need money for that. We would also.
Stages.
Yeah,
Stages would be great. And we have one PA system for one stage and another PA system for, and these are the big stages, the fold-out stages that I was talking about. I have one PA for that stage. We would need one for the smaller stage, light shows, the engineers to run the sound. I can do one of them. And we would need one other for that. The marketing money to get the word out. And it's not like we can spend $10, $20 on Facebook ads or things like that. We have to spend, have to go hard.
Because OTR did make an announcement that, they were pulling out. So we have to get those people back.
Re-announce.
Yeah, re-announce. I would love to be able to see 6,000 people. I can't promise that'll happen this year. Who knows what it'll turn out to be like.
The bands that Whipple's got, and going at it.
Right, yeah.
I think y'all should do that too. It'll overflow your business.
Oh, we can beat Whipple. Oh, we'll meet with them, just give us some.
Do you have any other questions about funding, or is there anything else that I should help you out with? While you're,
Well,
just
because
wondering
you're
if you
experts.
asked. I was just making sure it looked like you were doing it.
So maybe,
Of what I've heard.
so, you know, there's some additional parking across the street. And perhaps if that closure on Friday was pushed back a little bit, that parking would be available.
Across the street from the Wayfair down the hill? Is that
You
right?
know,
Across the back of Dragon.
the Little League baseball
Oh,
field.
okay.
Because maybe the person that owns it has businesses in there that she wants them to be able to conduct business.
Sure.
And on Friday, if that start time is pushed back and proper conversation, that would be available for the weekend.
We'd love to have a proper conversation, that's all.
Absolutely. So what, yeah, you just, okay.
Because all businesses matter. I mean, and we've been in that situation, I completely understand. So, you know, we want everybody to be here.
I love the music.
All right, with that, I'll open the floor for a motion. For what? For a motion, if anybody would like to make a motion.
Yeah, but before we get into the actual dollar figure to it, you know, one of the things that was appealing to me is that this was a community donation request that we fielded to create a free event for our locals to enjoy also.
Yes.
So in this one, I'm a little concerned, I'm not saying it's a deal breaker or anything, I'm just, what are we looking at in terms of tickets? I know that there are fixed
Not a
costs.
lot. And one of the things that we have not talked about, because we need to have a meeting, a nonprofit meeting, because this has all happened so fast. But we were talking about anybody in town, they wouldn't pay for a ticket, they would just come. And we're also talking about having a kids area at this event, and but the tickets are $15 for 2 days, and $10 for one day. But if we get the numbers that we need by marketing, then that is substantial.
Right.
For next year. And by the way, we're not gonna wait until 3 months before, like right after this event, we're gonna have our first meeting to plan, and I already know the bands I wanna hire, and they're huge national acts. And so if we've gotta get them on the books a year in advance, which means we have to know that we can do it the next year. So we're gonna be very proactive and make sure that we lock that in right after this event.
Yeah, I do. So last
It's just for the event.
meeting, we spent a lot of time talking about the impact that events like this have on our community, where we've seen.
Councilmember Klein has the floor.
So, you know, spent a lot of time last month discussing the impact that events like this have. And we do have several key events throughout the summer. This one, in my opinion, based on historic performance, has an impact to have ripples that transcend beyond just the regional community. As you stated, for the Big Snow Day concert, you got folks from Richmond, South Carolina.
Kentucky, Pennsylvania.
I like that there's an effort to be self-sustaining. As I mentioned during the previous meeting, I do think that we look at this as an experiment that we are testing, we are measuring, we're evaluating, and the trends are good. And the number of visitors that we are seeing year over year continue to increase. I think that this is a positive step forward towards making Tazewell a quirky mountain town that attracts unique visitors from all across the country and makes us a destination. I think based on the challenges that we face economically throughout the region, population decline, shifting in industries, you know, one of the things I've learned since being up here from the IEDA and then being to town council, you know, a naive 26-year-old me, But I'm just thinking, government is perhaps the solution for reinventing the economics of our area. And I've learned that we are not equipped. We don't have the bandwidth in terms of budget to do so. And to gain the budget necessary, we would have to raise taxes like crazy. That's not it. I think that partnerships with private individuals, private businesses that want to partner with the local government to drive tourism and new economic opportunities that have not been seen in our area. I think that those partnerships are strategically important, and I want to nurture those from my position on council. Based on that, and the amount in the budget request or the donation request for this sponsorship. And by the way, I love that this is a nonprofit for locals by locals. We have skin in the game with this.
Yes.
So because of all those reasons, and to get off the soapbox, I will make the motion that we make a $10,000 donation request in this for the sponsorship for this year. And I do think that we continue the conversation into next year and get out in front of this early.
This is for this event.
This event?
The sponsorship request for this event. The Route 16 music.
Well,
Rally and music festival.
I know
So,
what you're saying.
we've got a motion on the floor. We'll open it up for discussion if there's a second. Second. Got a motion and a second. I'll open it up for discussion.
Okay, discussion on the reference to 10,000. I know the back of Dragon, wants 10,000.
Negative.
No.
This
This is no longer going to be in business.
But
We're all working together, and that's what this is for.
It's going to a nonprofit that will
Yes,
then fund the
yes,
festival.
I understand that, but, like I'm saying, it's just that I'm for it, but I'm also for what I've been through with a few people. I think the back of the Dragon needs something too.
Hold on.
I know, I'm just saying that, but in the future, okay? But yes, I'll go along with that.
Is there any other discussion? All right, with that, I'll open it up for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
All right, it's 4 to 1, is that right? Is that right? You say aye? No, sir.
I didn't say anything.
So you abstained?
I did.
So, it's 3-1. 3 ayes, 1 nay. So, all right, motion carries.
I don't have
All right, next on the agenda is National Police Week support request from Ashley Fisher. Manager Reed.
Every year, during Police Week, Fisher and Company tries to do a little dinner for our law enforcement officers. This is current and retired local agencies from the towns, county, state. They try to include everyone. And this year they will be doing another meal on May the 11th during Police Week. And their goal is for every officer to leave with something. Last year you all had approved a $200 donation, and they're not asking for anything specific. It does say that they have fed roughly 120 local law enforcement. So if you all would like to support this event.
You got $300.
Next 2 months.
Yes.
All right. I'll open the floor for discussion. Open the floor for a motion if anybody wants to make it. If not, we can move forward.
I'll make a motion, we allow the same amount.
$200 as last year?
Yes.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Since I'm not current law enforcement officer, I'll abstain from this vote.
Okay.
I'm for it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. You got $100. All right, next we have local business recognition. First, we have Welcome Back Collectibles. If you guys could, if you could come forward. You got Larry Hayes and Freddie Smith. They just celebrated their 10-year anniversary, and we're at a convention last week in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we were.
We'd love to recognize businesses that have been successful. 10 years is an amazing feat, but why don't you take this time to celebrate yourselves a little bit. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I started this journey prior to this in North Carolina and then moved here. And like I say, it's been 10 years and we do a lot of shows and we do a lot to help, but I don't think I want to have the business anywhere but that. We've had a lot of support and it's just a great place to be. It really is. It's a good place. It's 10 years and hopefully I'll have 10 more, at least. I'm getting old.
We go.
He does a lot of sponsorships too, like whenever the baseball team comes by or fundraisers, he always funds them. He does a program for the kids at school with work cards, if they get better grades, he gives them store credit and stuff like that. He carries around.
That's great.
That's great.
Anybody have any questions for them?
Congratulations.
All right, with that, we always like to recognize our businesses and give them some goodies, so you don't mind? Come up here, we'll face the camera here, and get all of the council in the back. You good? Thank you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Next on the agenda, we have another local business recognition, Crown by Beauty, Hair by Vanessa. Vanessa Pridgeon, owner, please come forward. New business, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your business.
My name is Vanessa. I just graduated cosmetology school and just opened Crown and Beauty hair salon. It's mostly, people think it's just braids and natural. It's not. I'm servicing all hair textures, styles. I want people to love themselves and just feel comfortable in a space. And I'm born and raised here, graduated here. This is my home, and I'm happy. I know I'm not the first African-American black salon owner, but I am one now because there has not been any black-owned salons here. And also with my salon, I'm trying to start a outreach program. It takes a village, where I want to help single parents in the community, because I myself, a single mom, 2 boys, going to cosmetology school, trying to work and trying to get them to sporting events and enjoy life with them. And I just want people to know that there's a village. And my focus is for single parents. There's help for children, there's help for so many other things, but where's the help for the single parents, because that was me. And I want that with my salon to be a part of a growth for the community. And, I'm actually doing something for Mother's Day, and I've reached out to several businesses who have donated services or gifts and stuff for 2 single moms to be pampered and to know that they are loved and appreciated. And I also want to do that for Father's Day and just have something to grow, because Tazewell is such an amazing place and we are family. And not everybody gets to experience that. So that's part of Founded Beauty. And it takes a village.
That's great. I don't think you said it. What's the address? Where's it located? Yeah, free advertisement here.
It is 2749 King Castle Turnpike in North Tazewell. Kevin Chris building the category has the limo and everything. And like I said, I will be doing all hair type services, men's cuts, everything. So. And like I said, I'm just getting started. I still work at the high school, so my hours are crazy and my kids are keeping me busy, but.
Manager, I have a question to ask. All these business places that are opening, open up like tomorrow, can we be notified by mouth or my emails in and out? So if I can be notified about that, so I can attend some of these ribbon cuttings.
So those are usually handled by the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
Did we reach out to Pam to see if they also did get a copy?
They were emailed.
Yes, emailed, they were emailed. I do know that I received one, but because I wasn't sure if they did, I forwarded that out to you all today. I'm not sure if there had been some lack of communication if you all weren't on that list to receive, but I will make sure if I get one, I will make sure to forward it out to you all.
I did miss your ribbon cutting. We were double booked. We had the Easter egg hunt going on at the same time.
Yeah.
I had my kids out there.
But you can redo it again, have it done.
But I did also want to say, like, as me starting in a new business, if you all could offer, like, any kind of support for me, any guidance, and also support with the It Takes a Village outreach, because I do want this to be something for single parents, because like I said, I know as a single mom, sometimes it feels like somebody forgot about my birthday, or it may not seem that big, but I mean, and I've got my family, they're great support, but somebody may not have that, and so I just want that to be part of the community.
Yep.
No problem.
I think you can put it in order. Put Warren outside in the Easter Bunny costume, it might help.
He was the Easter Bunny, actually, for the shake right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the council meeting on March 10th, 2026. I entertain a motion to approve. So, is that a motion? Got a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Next is the approval of the financial statements and financial report for March 2026. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Got a motion?
I'll second.
And a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The motion carries. Financial statements are approved. Next, we have conference and committee updates. First, we have Planning Commission Committee, Zoning, Building, and Property Maintenance Official Early.
We met April 6th, which was last Monday night. We have 2 items on the agenda. New restaurant out at North Tazewell four-way section. And also some stipulations for the fire department on Riverside Drive. And that'll be voted on the new business.
Any questions or comments for that? Thank you. Move forward. Next is Tazewell Today update. Emily Combs Davis, Executive Director of Tazewell Today.
Hey guys, I got some things I can give you. So we just got our reinvestment statistics. So that is included in this. Statistics, I know you love numbers. Yeah, my board hasn't even seen these yet. We literally just got them. So, in this, you'll find the reinvestment statistics. You will also see information from the Virginia Main Street saying that we are accredited for another year.
Nice.
Yep, there is our financial statement for our last year. So you can see where all of our money came from and where it goes. There is also our work plan and our budget for this coming up year. So of course, you know, our budget starts in January, yours starts in July. So we are already well into allocating our money by the time the new money comes out. So just a recap of the events in 2025. We had 11 events for the town. We had 6 fundraisers and we actually had 1 workshop that we really didn't have very good attendance on. But this year, you'll notice in our work plan, we are trying to start a workshop series in town to help with the existing businesses, attract new businesses, et cetera, et cetera. So now Virginia Main Street makes us keep information on our Main Street district. Our Main Street district is pretty much, goes a little bit down further than it, but it starts around Miller's Antiques and goes down to the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office. So in that district, last year we had 3 businesses that closed or moved out of the district. That totaled 6 job losses in the district. We had 1 business that moved within the district and added 5 additional jobs when they moved. We had 7 businesses open in the district, which added a total of 41 jobs. So we are net 40 jobs. And I think that's amazing. Yeah. We also, just in the district, had private investment of about $158,000. So that doesn't take into account what anything the town has done to spruce up the streets. None of that. That is what an individual business has done to help with their business. So for 2026, right now, we currently have 21 events scheduled. That is, all their town events are fundraising and workshops. So, do I have any questions? Or if you have any questions after you look over this, because I know you haven't had a whole lot of time, you know where to find me.
Hey, I received an email and I'm gonna botch the title of it, but because we're an advancing Main Street town and part of the Main Street programs, it was an email that was sent up to, I think, Main Street business owners, but there was like training.
Through the Main Street Academy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
through the Main Street Academy.
Yeah.
So
And that is a free service, and we get that because we are a Virginia Main Street. So that needs to be taken into consideration when supporting the nonprofit.
But I only logged in and got on the site, but
Well, and there was
definitely a nice
another
add-on.
one. That one was one I sent out to small businesses. They also had some design that I forwarded out to our design committee, so there's ideas on that. I know you've seen our design committee is in the middle of collecting bottle tops. The plastic bottle tops, any bottle top, can be a drink, can be peanut butter, can be milk, whatever, to do an art project with those bottle tops. And the pictures that have been posted look really neat. Of course, we will have to gather all of those together, see what colors we get before we can figure out what the design is gonna be. But that's one project that's underway right now.
Thank you.
So, any other questions? Excellent, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Next, we have the Comprehensive Plan Review Subcommittee, Councilmember Klein.
Yes, and that one's got my title on it, but Councilmember Keenan's also part of it. And I apologize for last month, Glenn not bringing me into it, but a quick overview of where we are on our comprehensive plan. So every 5 years, we have to refresh our comprehensive plan. This lays out the strategy for the town for the next 5 years, and we've taken a collective approach to this. We have representatives from town council, the planning commission, and the IEDA, and we've met probably four or five times now, and we have worked through the groundwork of building out our goals and objectives for the town. And then the next part's the fun part, where we're going to draft a particular section of the comprehensive plan, and that's the implementation strategy. So we have some serious projects going on. I know Ms. Leanne's itching for about 5 more, but we're going to lay these out in that way, basically line up the dominoes and knock them down over the next 5 years. That's the intent. We are seeking outside support from contractors. That will be coming up. It's probably a little bit early to talk numbers and figures, but there will be a monetary request from the town council that's going to be split over two budget years to get a contractor to help us out with like polishing this document up. So you've got local town representatives putting the fingerprints on it to have the local flavor, and then we'll get a contractor to help us polish it up. Mr. Glenn, anything your way?
I think you covered it.
Any questions on that? No, we'll move forward. Thank you. Next, we have unfinished business. We have to ratify the vote regarding the purchase of 4 vehicles for Public Works Department fleet using the LGIP account. So we had a email stream in which Councilmember King made a motion to purchase 4 vehicles using the LGIP account. I believe Councilmember Fox, if I understand correctly, called in and made a verbal second to that, and we had unanimous votes on record. So we just need to ratify that vote. I'll open it up for a motion to ratify that vote.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, got a motion? Second. A second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. And it mirrors the original.
I would like to say something really quick on that.
Yes.
I want you all to know how much your public works employees appreciate what you all do for the town. So thank you all very much.
That's great. We appreciate all they do for us, so anything we can do to make life better.
Yeah, amazing.
It's great.
And you too.
All right, next we have new business. Review and approve county fire department site recommendation from planning commission. Special Hurst.
We use these guidelines, 3rd page back, blue asterisk, what the planning commission used. Y'all can use it too. It's for the fire department's site plan approval, which they didn't actually bring a site plan, but we did suggest putting a warning light facing east for the traffic coming from Lincolnshire to the post office when the trucks come out. That's the only thing we could come up with. Yeah, where B&W used to be. The building blocks their sight distance coming out of there, and suggest putting a flashing light when the fire alarm go off.
And that another county, can they purchase that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the.
They'll have to coordinate with us to get it put out beside the road, but they'll have to power and probably purchase it.
But they're gonna be paying for it, right?
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
We need to probably just vote on that because this is in the overlay district.
And so what we're voting on, just to be clear, we're just voting on the recommendation that.
Of the planning commission.
Of the planning.
I think I put a letter in the council packet in.
I'll make the motion.
You're making the motion to accept the recommendations of the planning commission?
It's,
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right. Next we have review and approve Market Street property recommendations from the planning commission.
You have it in your packet too, but here's a big version. Probably one of the best site plans we've ever had. I told her we'll use this as a model from now on. But again, there's second page, the blue asterisk, that's what the planning commission went by to go over this site plan and check off all the items in that section.
Okay.
But,
Did they have any recommendations?
no, they couldn't find anything wrong with this.
What?
You know, Vance always here, Wendy's here, and the Taco Bell will be right up against Wendy's. This entrance will go away. The new entrance will be right beside of Vance Hall.
Taco Bell.
We just had somebody think.
This is so exciting, I can't believe that's good.
Taco Bell, no where it
It's not one of the biggest buildings. The guy that came to represent it, it was, I think he said the same size as Marion or somewhere there.
We got a question on it.
Okay.
It's gotta be a foot bigger than Marion.
Here, I'm assuming that's a dumpster.
This hash there is concrete. Sidewalks,
So
dumpster
that-
area. This is
Okay, so
one-way
that is
traffic.
dumpster area, but it's simply, the shading is concrete.
The concrete does come out in the traffic area, but all this is concrete. But, you know, the doors you see are kind of grayish color. They don't stick out that far in the traffic area, it's just the doors back here.
Gotcha.
So what's the timetable on this trip?
It should be open before this fall. We can start this summer. This is the final approval. Planning commission approved it, send it up there.
Okay.
I guess they'll hire a contractor on this and start construction.
Yeah, we have to make a motion to approve their recommendations.
I'll make the motions for the recommendations for Taco Bell.
We got a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Next, we have Town Council representative for the Cumberland Plateau Planning District Commission, Manager Reed.
So I'm not asking for a vote tonight. However, our former mayor, Mayor Hoops, was on this committee, and we have a vacant position from the town of Tazewell to be on this board. They meet quarterly, and it does change locations each time that they meet. So over the next month, if you all would, be thinking of who you would like to represent us. And before the next council meeting, we'll have a short executive session to discuss.
That's good. Any discussion on that, or ready to move on? All right, next, we have budget amendments, Treasurer Hayes.
In your packet, you will see the budget amendments that I'm proposing. And most of those are just reallocations throughout the budget for anything that we might have gone over more on versus something that we had room. I pulled it in. There were a few grants, so we expensed in line items. We've received grant money, so I had to pull that into the budget. And you'll see that within there. And if you want or have any questions, I'll be happy to look at it with you.
Open it up for discussion.
Motion to approve the budget amendments. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have resolution of support for Tazewell County Airport Authority. Manager Regan.
I received an email with documentation. The airport has changed their charter. They have amended their procurement processes, and they are asking each of the towns and counties that are a part of the airport authority to adopt a resolution supporting their amended charter.
Okay, let me get down here. I'll go ahead and read that and we can go from there. Okay. A resolution adopting charter of the Tazewell County Airport Authority as amended. Whereas the Tazewell County Airport Authority was created on or about July 12, 1978 by way of the agreement of the creation of the Tazewell County Airport Authority and by the charter of the Tazewell County Airport Authority dated July 12, 1978. Whereas the original charter for the Tazewell County Airport Authority was amended by way of the agreement to the amendment of the charter of the Tazewell County Airport Authority dated May 28, 1996. Whereas the charter and its subsequent amendments provide a comprehensive and updated framework for governance, operations, and management of the Tazewell County Airport Authority and the Tazewell County Airport Facility. Whereas the board members of the Tazewell County Airport Authority, upon public notice, a quorum was to conduct official business and the commencement of a public meeting held on March 19, 2026 at the Tazewell County Airport Facility located at 2200 Airport Road, Cedar Bluff, Virginia 24609, voted unanimously and approved certain amendments to its charter. Whereas the representative members of the Tazewell County Airport Authority include one member from Russell County, one member from Buchanan County, and 6 members from Tazewell County. Whereas amendments to the Tazewell County Airport Authority require authorization and acceptance of the same from the various local government or municipality members as referenced herein. Whereas the amendments to its charter are attached hereto as Exhibit 1 and incorporated herein by reference as if set forth verbatim. And whereas it is necessary and most appropriate to authorize and accept the proposed amendments to the charter of the Tazewell County Airport Authority. Now therefore be it resolved on this 14th day of April 2026, the Tazewell Town Council accepts and ratifies the proposed amendments to the charter of the Tazewell County Airport Authority dated the 19th of March 2026. It is so resolved and affirmed and recorded on the 14th day of April 2026. Doesn't need to be roll call, we can just, okay. So I'll open the floor to accept that, accept a motion to accept the letter of support, resolution.
I like that motion.
We got a motion?
I'll second.
And I've got a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The motion carries. All right, next we have items for auction. Manager Regan.
I know that I had brought a few items before you all last month, and those were approved, and they have been taken out to the auction lot on the 4-lane there. However, we do have a few other items that have come up to where they are at the point that they need to go to auction as well. Those are a carry-on golf cart, a 2005 Ford F550 dump truck, Glenn, that has a special place, I know.
Yeah, I know.
You can go buy it at the auction. A 2008 Ford F450, another 2008 F450, and a 2006 Ford Explorer. So as you can see, these are well-loved vehicles.
What kind of condition that golf cart is?
I want one. Yeah, we'll share.
All right, I'll open the floor for discussion.
I'll make the motion.
There you go.
Second.
Okay, you make the motion to approve the auction?
Yes.
Okay, I've got a motion and I've got a second to approve the auction of these items. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Next, we have town manager project updates.
Okay, so, Route 460 water line replacement project. Last week, we began work there around Nationwide Insurance. We will be working from there, going across the bridge and going through the Hardee's red light. We have cut the asphalt, and to mitigate dust, we are spraying the road. We have already implemented that process. And a proposed date to start paving from the Hardee's red light intersection to Peary Street would be the end of May. Now, end of May, that is our proposed. Obviously, rain dates, weather delays, anything like that would play a factor, but that is what we are hoping for.
So you're gonna pay from Hardee's to Peary Street?
Yes.
You're not going all the way to the Italian Building?
That's going by, it goes by.
That's past.
It goes by.
It's closer to the cave.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's that sign we like.
Let me make sure for clarity, right now, the plan is to pave the one side of the road, and we are paving both sides. Okay, wasn't sure if we were gonna wait to see.
We're gonna cap.
Gotcha.
We're not gonna have to mill, so we're just gonna cap and overlay both sides.
Gotcha. Will we run into, the settling issues from Nationwide on down?
With the compaction that we did this past time there from the red light back to Peary Street, I think it's held up very well.
Okay.
So, I think we'll do.
Okay. Good.
Next is the Clinch River Pavilion and Farmers Market. So, this has been a project it's been a fun project. We don't have a lot of fun projects, but this has been fun. So in the last 2 days, there's been over 150 tons of asphalt laid. So the parking lot is very much in progress. The river walk, the concrete river walk is completed. The mural is in progress. I think she started yesterday or today. And electrical is in progress. We will have a ribbon cutting May the 1st at 11:30. So I really hope that everyone is able to come. We have a lot of funders coming. We have a lot of speakers coming. So if we could show support, that would be great.
So will the bathrooms be done?
My understanding is the plumbing is supposed to be connected this week.
Good. But will they be done?
My understanding is they will be there this
We don't
week.
have plumbing, I mean, it's, a tree is, pushing their time.
We're not going to have to use a tree. Okay. They are on schedule, and that is an outside source from the town.
Right.
But they are on schedule to be there this week. Any other questions? Mountain biking. So I've applied for a grant through IMBA for plan and design. I'm waiting to hear from that. IMBA is International Mountain Biking Association. We're working on an easement. I don't know if you all have got a chance to check your email, but right before we had our budget work session, we did get a response from one of the property owners, but we will discuss that at a later time. But there is progress there. So, any questions? Rainy Lot, this is our proposed soccer fields. Kara and Lucy from the IEDA and Chris and Susan and myself met with Kevin Jones. He is an architect and a teacher from Virginia Tech. So he will be preparing design work for that proposed soccer field and at a very good reduced rate to the town. He anticipates having those done by June, at the end of June. So,
I have a question on this.
yes. There will be a pickleball court.
Pickleball court.
Yes, we told him it's very important.
Because it's age and done.
Yes, we've got the pickleball court in line.
If you don't, do you care to run through the guidelines that you gave, like walking track, pickleball court, multi-purpose field, like?
Restroom facilities.
Restroom facilities?
Yes.
Okay.
Something that we would like future us to do is have another digital sign out there. So that can be a future phase. But while we're in it, let's go ahead and plan for it. But it doesn't mean it's going to get done at this moment. But future us can plan for that. So I think that would be a good addition to that end of the town. So, and I'd have to say that was Susan's idea. It's a very good idea. But Kevin was, I think he was very in tune with what we were asking for and what we were going for. So I feel very hopeful that he is going to take what we have shared and put it out to paper where we can make it a reality.
Did he have any recommendations? One of the things I'm concerned about at that location is just the proximity to the road.
Yes.
And was there any discussion on that?
Yes, absolutely. We did discuss keeping the roadway, the traffic way, and then the fields, kind of making sure that we had some type of barrier of safety for the children that would be out there playing on those fields. Absolutely.
What about lighting? Lighting discussed?
We did discuss lighting because there's light poles out there on the other end of the parking lot, but yes, we did discuss that as well. There is electrical there.
Right.
So we will have the things.
Okay.
What about the safety coming down the road, from the road into the?
Yes, we will make sure that we have ample amount of barrier there to protect.
We'll put the pickleball courts near the road, okay? We want to endanger the kid.
All right.
Keep the
Well,
young
I'd like
taxpayers.
to play a game of pickleball there, Mr. Willis.
Anytime.
Today like Saturday.
Next, we have the youth soccer league.
Youth soccer update. So
He's a jerk.
this idea was born a few months ago that the town of Tazewell Recreation Department had in the past been the leader for youth soccer, and we made the decision to bring that back in-house. So I'm very pleased to tell you all that we had 182 children sign up for that youth sport. So that is very impressive, very, honestly, I'm very pleased with that. There are 17 teams. Games begin this Saturday. We will have the Well on Wheels set up for opening day. And a total from your registrations, and we did get a few companies that wanted to sponsor teams. And that total for that line item right now is $6,315. That's being poured back into the children of our community. So I'm very pleased with that. So.
I just want to say, on my behalf, I want to thank this office, admin, Public Works, all the people that have jumped in and picked this up, because we've hit a few bumps in the road, but all the efforts combined is what has got us to where we're at. And we haven't started the season yet, but we're where we're at, and I think from my involvement as a coach, as a parent, I think we're in a place where we can have a good, successful season and have provide a good service for our community.
There's been some learning curves. So we've learned some how-tos, what nots to do, but fall soccer coming 2026. So, okay. Last council meeting, we had a property owner come before you to discuss a sewer issue at their home. So the town and Thompson Litton and the property owner have all met. We met here to discuss some options. We met at the site and the homeowner was there, and we're trying to gather some options because, I mean, it's sewer issue. It's not a bunch of fancy options out there.
I thought we
However,
were doing a pump.
yes, so that was what we proposed. They would like for us to look into some other options. So Thompson and Litton is working on those options right now.
And that is costing us what?
That is what they're going to be telling us.
So why can't we just do the pump like we decided last week?
That was their suggestion and recommendation, as well as Thompson and Litton. However, the property owner has asked for some other options. So that's where I have been back with Thompson and Litton to ask.
Well, now, if we're willing to help this property owner, and they've had this problem for years,
Yes.
we should not incur the cost of an engineer if the pump will fix it.
I have been told by town staff and engineering staff that pump would fix their issue.
So then why are we paying the cost of an engineer?
What would we do?
Because the property owner,
And we need to talk to the property owner again.
I have had,
We would do whatever we had to if it was on the issue.
But that didn't involve an engineer, it was the pump.
it is not, I have a visual. The town actually has one of these out at the recreation
Was it
department.
a pump, like a pump grinder? Oh, we have, yeah, I used
It's
to have
all
one.
underground.
Yeah, it's, yeah, they're very common in East Windsor.
There's one inside the Aqua Park building.
This,
Most of it, 90% of them.
not the grinder.
But
I mean, you have access to it above ground, yes. But the grinder is not above ground. But we actually have one of these up at the Aqua Park, at the park.
Yeah, you have, they're very common
Yes.
when you live below sea level, which I don't recommend.
So they're primarily concerned about the aesthetics of that? Is that what it is?
I just know that they would like to meet with my team, Thompson and Litton, and to see what other options that there may be. I have had multiple communications with them. I have copied them on every email that I have sent to Thompson and Litton, so they are aware of our progress. But I do want you all to know that we are working toward a resolution for them. Questions?
Well, to me, it's changed from the last meeting,
It did,
and it's gonna cost us more.
yes. I mean, just because we get other options, it's not meaning that it will be cost feasible.
If the engineer's charging us, that's a fee that we didn't think we would incur.
I'm talking about the actual fixing the problem.
When we left last week, the pump was gonna fix the problem,
Yes, sir.
and our workers were gonna do it.
Yes, sir.
But if I'm not mistaken, we also, we did in our motion last month, state if we have to pay for engineering, we would.
And
I
engineering,
thought, because I tried to clarify that.
engineering service has also said that the pump, they have actually, they've not recommended a grinder pump, they recommended a chopper pump, which chops any kind of material better than the grinder. However, that was not a option they wanted to explore.
Is that a larger setup or something, or?
No.
Let's scroll back here.
I just don't remember the mention of engineering.
Yeah, I thought we kind of said we were going to try that one thing, and if that didn't work, then we would.
I guess what makes it so bad is it's not their problem.
It's not, and I'm for helping, but I don't want it to, you know, if we're saying, get the pump, our guys can install it, and that fixes their problem, and it goes away. But when you bring in engineering, Thompson Litton, you know, they're not cheap. You know, what's the cost gonna be?
It's gonna be up there.
Says the council has authorized, this is based on our minutes, the council authorized the manager to resolve this issue within budget involving a pump and an 8-inch pipe.
There it is. That says nothing about engineering and getting an engineering firm.
I'm pretty sure we talked.
Engineering was mentioned.
So it is written, so it says.
I thought the engineering came after, like if that didn't, like we were gonna resolve, like it was gonna be resolved, but like that we had kind of like a plan, and then if that didn't work.
It also follows up by saying a meeting should be scheduled to address further questions and review the plan, so.
Yeah. I thought we kind of had a thing too, I don't know.
I know that their intent is they would like this issue resolved permanently. My intent is to help them permanently solve their issue as well. They were unsatisfied with the previous attempts. And so yes, I did reach out to Thompson and Litton and say, here's our proposal. They did come meet with us, they met with the property owner, they did say, yes, that will work.
Are they concerned about the maintenance? Because there is maintenance involved, you have to sometimes, you know.
I mean, there is an alert on the system, but it alerts the town to come out and take care of the issue.
And the town's gonna take care of it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Again, as a property owner who had one of these and did not have a town come and take care of it for them, that is an awesome offer. Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's the same thing down Riverside Drive.
There is one on Riverside Drive, yes.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
So at the moment, I'm getting an additional option and cost estimates. And that's where I am on that project. I just wanted to let you know that I am working on that. I do have one other project update, sort of. We talked about this just a little bit in budget work session. So we have bid out mowing services, Riverside Drive. Black Rock Excavation was awarded that bid. Fairground Road, Adam Land Improvement was awarded that bid. Fincastle Turnpike, General Resources was awarded that bid. And Lincolnshire Lake, Williams Tree Service was awarded that bid. Just an update on where we are.
Sounds good. Any other questions from the manager? All right, we'll move on. We have Busville subdivision and Crockett Drive concerns, Councilmember Fox.
We've already got that straightened out, so,
good to move on.
good move on.
So what was the issue?
They're gonna do it.
Snow removal.
Snow removal one drive. Yeah.
Where's Crockett Drive?
Off Richardson Drive, as you go up to the right.
Where Dr.
Catcher.
is.
It's not a town maintained street.
Yeah.
So we are going to do some snow removal, street maintenance, that type of thing.
Does Ray Willis live up that street there?
Yeah, on the inside.
Thank you.
Well,
Miscellaneous, anything on that?
I got a couple of questions. The street sweeper,
Yes.
do they have water in that thing?
Yes. So the street sweeper, we were getting complaints that it was leaving gravel in the middle of the road. We had to come back and go over that part again, like they weren't finished. Street sweeper, I think they came to pick it up today.
And the other one, down there on Cemetery Lane, College Hill, that street, that lot. The owner wants, want to build a house or, and then several others the same way. They got lots down there too. They want to put something on those lots. Did the Corps of Engineer ever went down there to look at it? About flooding?
They're not gonna look at it.
They're not gonna look at it.
The property owner had spoke with Chris and myself, maybe a year ago, and it was going to be a base flood elevation study.
Right.
And it was going to cost quite a bit of money to have that study performed. And they were asking for the town to have that performed. However, it was a private piece of property. And I said that we would not be able to do that for a private piece of property. But we gave them all the steps that they would need to go through to have that done.
Okay, I mean, there's several properties that keep, that they would like to build on.
Just the one property owner had approached me.
Yeah, you know, the house that sat down there for many years, I remember, I forgot her name, she babysat me. And they had no problems at all to that.
They would need to contact FEMA.
Contact FEMA?
Yes. I think I still have the information. If they would like, I can reissue it.
Okay. That's it for me.
All right. Miscellaneous public comment?
Yes, sir, Justin Touch.
State your name and address, and try to limit it to 3 minutes.
Will do. Justin Taggett, 279 Richardson Drive, right here in Tazewell, since June of 2020. So, showed up late because our dogs were playing soccer at home. Unfortunately, JV and girls varsity lost. I was going to show up tonight with a hatchet, but I'm going to put that away because the discussion I heard going on when I walked into this meeting was positive, okay? The municipality partnering with businesses who have created a cohort to breathe new life into an event that fell by the wayside on the fault of all parties involved, we'll just put it that way. What I like to hear was chatter about support for the budget request for this event that's going to happen in June now, the support for road closures and all that. I appreciate all you guys sitting up here, and lady, your willingness to serve. What we need going forward is more of that cooperation between town and between the businesses that when I first moved here didn't exist. The lamentation from previous council and town manager was you can't buy a Coke on Main Street. Look at what we have now. How many restaurants do we have on Main Street? Mercantile shops. It's fantastic. And we need to keep that momentum. We need to ride that wave. So all my thunder got stolen. I appreciate every one of you guys. I do want to drive one point home because I know there still seems to be some confusion or clarity on the fact that, and I'm going to bring up last month's meeting, okay? Had the council approved the budget request, the sponsorship request for the OTR event, what organization's name would have gone on the check for that?
Foundation Moto.
Foundation Moto,
Yes.
not Back of the Dragon. It was never one business asking the town for money, okay? I just wanted to drive that point home because there still seems to be a little bit of confusion about it. That money was being asked for an event, not for a business, not for 592 Main Street. That's where the event was going to be held, okay? But that money was not for a business on Main Street. And I'll just leave that at that. What I am thankful for is that business, our new friends from the Wayfair, friends from Uncharted Adventures, and more to come, I'm sure. Be Noodled, hopefully. Yeah, all coming together to breathe new life into this thing. You know, OTR's water under the bridge now. I look forward to us all moving together and working in partnership with each other. And I thank y'all for your time.
Thank you.
I'll say, today's already put the offer out there.
Yep, parade.
Thank you.
Galloway. Galloway.
Same thing, state your name, address, and try to limit it to 3 minutes, please.
Hi, I'm Eric Galloway. I live up at 162 Sunside Drive, right up here. And I know I've mentioned this to like several of y'all, but I'm gonna say it for everyone. So, you know, I live right up here. I work on Main Street at the library, obviously. So, you know, I have a lovely commute to work. I also like to walk it as much as I can. But something that I feel like we really need is, you know, the sidewalk goes up a little bit of the ways on Marion, but it cuts off at School Street. So if you want to walk back into the residential area here, if you're visiting town at the Litz Mansion and you're wanting to walk to Main Street for any of our lovely events that we have, which I think is amazing. That's part of why I like being here. I'm a transplant to North Carolina. I really feel like there needs to be a sidewalk coming around that curve. It's very tight. There's a wall on one side, and there's a guardrail, and where it falls off on the other side. And it's very tight, and it's around a curve. So if you're a pedestrian, it can get a little dangerous. And again, I live right there, so I drive it, I don't know how many times a day. You know, I like to bring people, you know, my family likes to visit me out of town, so we can go to like Main Street moments and stuff. And we like to walk just because it's nice, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's a safety issue. I think it's something for residents, but also for people who are coming from out of town, visiting, you know, staying at the Litz Mansion. So I'm just putting that out there. I feel like I've like mentioned it to several folks over the years. But I like that needs to happen. So I'm just throwing that out there. Thanks, y'all.
No, thank you. No, I concur. As someone who drives that road, and it is very dangerous, and there's people that are very common.
And if you're a family,
and if you're a family, there's strollers, there's people on scooters, bikes. I would almost, I understand like the restraints, because just the road itself is barely enough for 2 vehicles. But even if there was something, maybe a light situation where if you were a pedestrian, you're walking, you could hit that and the light would come up and just let other cars know that there is a pedestrian there. I concur, it is very dangerous.
People walk from, I know up at like, I don't know if it's the Sunset Apartments or Dogwood.
Yes.
There are residents who walk
I
there all the
see
time.
people walk daily.
I think I walk that road every day for probably 15 years.
Yeah, know the importance of walkability in a community.
I teach my kids, whenever I walk those streets, I always make sure to teach my kids, like, this is how you do it, so you can be seen the best you can. But I don't know the engineering to it, but I would think your constraint would be the road width. You would have to make it a one-lane road if you did it, if you put a sidewalk in there, because tight fit for 2 cars as it is.
There used to be a sidewalk.
Not through that section, not where by the residents.
The road wasn't wide enough, so they took the sidewalk out.
I know there was sidewalk all the way up to the Brooks driveway, but I didn't think there was on the.
It went all the way up past Nancy Brooks, I think.
Can that be looked at? Or sidewalk?
We can look at it, yes. I'm sorry, I'm not better versed in it, but yes, we can look at it.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Any other miscellaneous comment or public comment? I'll open the floor for council comments. I just want to reiterate all the efforts that everyone's putting in. It's recognized, and I appreciate all the efforts from all the town staff all across the board. But
So is the town fully staffed with workers for the summer?
Describe for the summer.
So you stated you were going to hire 1 full-time worker for the park. I mean, that's public works. Do they have enough employees? I mean, are they fully staffed?
So for mowing services, I don't know if you've seen some folks coming in and out, but we did have one possibility for hire right now. We are currently advertising for summer help at the park, lifeguards, facility team members, We have a electrician out for advertisement right now and a full-time general maintenance for a street crew.
Anyone else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
Got a motion? Second. Got a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.